August 23rd, 2024. Here's the Grand Teton Lodge Company fleet at Jackson Lake Lodge. This is their van. License plate number ends in 5249652. This van has chronic check engine light. They continue to operate it day in and day out with the check engine light on. It gets cleared every once in a while, but it is never written up as resolved on the DVIRs, and yet it goes out over and over and over. This is bus 8. This is the ADA bus. This has a failing transmission. It slips and sputters on starting. It hasn't been a huge problem, but somebody's going to get into trouble with it. It has an in-op ADA lift. The lift doesn't work. Nobody's been trained on how to use the lift. It's just there for appearances, I guess. And then, I cannot remember the number of this bus. This is, I guess, a reasonably decent bus. It is, what, bus 2? 2. This also has a chronic check engine light on it. It goes out over and over with the check engine light on it, never gets resolved. Got some great backing here. This is bus 12. Bus 12 has too many problems to mention. I'm kind of overlooking marker lights. Let's back up just a second here. On this bus, bus 8, that top left marker light does not work. That's been written up a million times. And these are working back here. Bus 2, no problems there. Everything's been backed into something. Now we're on bus 12. Bus 12 has driveline problems. These were brought to the attention of the driver team leader numerous times, who basically lied about the state of that. Most recently it went to a shop in Lander. My concern with this bus is that it's got one or more bad U-joints, possibly a bad carrier bearing, and I was a little worried about the differential, so I recommended that they have the dealer check all of those, and I specifically recommended that the differential be drained and checked for metal. And when it came back, this driver lead manager, whatever, driver team lead, I can't remember the title, stated that that had been done, but I went underneath and looked at it, and the plug on the differential never came, it wasn't removed. There was no evidence that it was removed. If it had been removed, there would have been some gear oil around it. So, what bus are we on now? This is 3, I guess. We'll take a look at the front. This has had in-op or missing marker light lenses for over 6 weeks. That's been written up over and over. I can't remember what else is wrong with this thing. I'm just thinking, I don't know. I guess I'll think of it later. One other thing is that this is really not of any consequence, but this bus has, oh my god, they didn't fix it. It's got a missing faux lug nut, which probably leads passengers to have the impression that it is missing a lug nut. Oh, air conditioners. Let's see. Bus 8 for a very long time had a in-op relay. It was welded shut, and the condenser ran constantly. That's pretty inconsequential. Anyhow, so this is about the worst maintained fleet of buses that I've ever been affiliated with. They have no maintenance records on the vehicles. They have no idea when differential oil was last changed, when serpentine belts were last changed. They do know when the oil was last changed. That's kind of a miracle. They don't have any binders whatsoever. There's no process for ensuring that DVIRs with defects are evaluated by a mechanic before the vehicle goes out again. The drivers do not know to look at the prior page to see if there's a defect and whether the defect's been resolved or not. And it's just incredible that a large successful company like Vail Resorts would run such a horrendous fleet of vehicles. Oh, I guess one other thing that's worth mentioning is when I got here, these vehicles were effing filthy. I had to crawl around on my hands and knees with a scrub brush and clean every square inch of the floors to get them to look respectable. They're actually pretty clean now. All right, that's about all I got to say about that. Remembered one more thing about Bus 8. The headlight lenses are almost, well, they're not transparent. They're borderline translucent. If they sit here long enough, I guess they'll be opaque. Ugh. Okay, something else popped into my head about Bus 8. The turn signals don't cancel. That can sometimes yield somewhat, I don't know, maybe borderline dangerous situations. I was also thinking about the training. That was kind of interesting. The female trainer here doesn't know the difference between the transmission dipstick and the oil dipstick, and that means that her pre-trips necessarily exclude checking the oil. If you don't know which dipstick the oil is in, you can't really check the oil when you're doing a pre-trip. And this same person, who is a very pleasant person, mind you, also thought it was appropriate to share photographs and stories of her various accidents while driving semis during training. This was shared with me and with a front row passenger, and kind of unavoidably with the rest of the bus as well. And I also learned how to summon a prostitute at a truck stop from the trainer. That was really helpful info. So anyhow, I won't get into anything else, I think, at this point. That's all I got to say about that.